George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. One of our great partners is the Syracuse Educational Opportunity Center. They're located at 100 New Street in Syracuse, and Carlos Cervantes is the Director of Student Services at the Syracuse Educational Opportunity Center. Many of us have been impacted by COVID, and quite frankly, we're still being impacted by it. But the EOC is ready to resume your in-person learning somewhat. We'll find out just how in just a few moments. Lots going on. They've got a job fair next week. We'll tell you about that as well. But Carlos, tell me how COVID has interrupted the life and times of the Syracuse Educational Opportunity Center, and what you're doing now to welcome students back, and what protocols are in place.
Yeah, great, George. Thanks for asking and thanks for having me. So we know that COVID in March of last year sort of caught almost all of us off guard, right? We were all introduced to sort of the evidence that it was out there, but then we all witnessed the massive surge, the illnesses and the tragic deaths. So we went to a national and really international shutdown, right? So that affected us, of course.
Sure.
Right. So our response to that was, well, that is not going to prevent us from delivering instruction, right? So we immediately transitioned to online virtual delivery. It was a little confusing, as you might expect. That's not something we do traditionally. We prefer in-person instruction. Most of our students seem to learn best using that method, but we did it nonetheless to at least sort of do what we could to continue to advance our students towards their goal, right? We know that, they suffer enough obstacles, our students, right? And we did not need to delay, the progress they had already been experiencing. So we went virtual, shut the building down, and did what we could to make sure that, all of our students were capable technologically, to participate online. So that went on for, really the duration, right? We have not stopped since then. So we've been offering virtual classes since. So this fall, beginning, in fact, in 2 weeks, the 13th, is when we will begin to deliver our first in-person instruction again, right? Very cautious. All of us were sort of not surprised, but the announcement that the FDA had approved the vaccine sort of put us in a situation where, okay, so that gives us this sort of checkpoint where now we want to offer in person, and we want to do it under this condition. So we're kind of going through our planning and developing process to make sure that we can deliver this in-person instruction to those people who are eligible under the vaccination status. So like every place, like your place and every other place, we have all of those protocols installed. We have lots of, people will be prepared. We'll follow all of the CDC and county and state guidance around masks and vaccination status and sanitizing spaces and that kind of stuff. So we're on trend. It's limited what we're offering in person now, right? Because we're not prepared to go full board everybody, but we are also, and this is what's great about what we're doing, we are still offering a large number of virtual offerings, right? And just about all the classes that we traditionally offer for those who have not been vaccinated, cannot get vaccinated in time to begin in 2 weeks, or just really their learning style and their personal circumstances, make virtual learning or the virtual option just more appealing to them. So we'll be able to do both. And hey, the trend for us and practically everybody, in my opinion, will be sort of the menu. Are you an in-person learner, or are you more of a virtual learner? And which circumstances best suit you? And we're going to do what we can to accommodate that.
Wow, this is really great, and I know that for the students of the SEOC, it's a welcome return, because a lot of people, as you suggest, are more they just prefer in-person learning, right? It just, especially for the nature of the student. Talk about the student, your typical student, and how your services come to be accessed by those students.
So we know that hey, we're a different generation, right? So I'll speak for myself. You know, a cell phone at sometimes still confuses me, right? But
Right.
that's not the case with some of our students,
Oh,
right?
right.
They write entire papers. You know, I have a kid in college, and you've had them, and I would never suggest it, but they can write entire documents on a phone, right? And then edit it on paper later or whatever. What we have learned surprisingly is that there really is a small number of our students who don't have the technical capacity for it, meaning they have a smartphone that can install, you know, Microsoft Teams or Blackboard or Zoom or any of the other sort of virtual platforms that we could use, and they have the technical competence around that. We have had some who simply did not, right? And unfortunately, during COVID, during revenue shortages, we did not have the ability to support them, right? We just didn't have the means, the technological means, right? And then some, you know, are limited by, you know, other factors like data and Wi-Fi access and stuff like that. So we are developing systems to help accommodate that. We're doing what we can to purchase some loaner stuff, and, you know, providing, you know, Wi-Fi here if necessary. Our computer labs here and the number of computer banks that we have here will allow them to come into the building, and if they're a virtual student and they just prefer to be virtual, but, you know, their personal means don't allow it, well, that will be an option for them. So the fact is, many were able to do it, and, you know, it was only a small fraction that really suffered from just being unable to receive virtual instruction. So like I said, we're doing everything we can to meet that need, and that is a large part of our focus right now.
And the student that we're talking about is a student who give me the profile.
So, well, you know, adult learners, right? Probably younger than us, but, you know, again, they're probably, you know, our typical student is probably local, a bus ride away, maybe walking distance. Some don't have vehicles, right? So, you know, we're fortunate to be close to the hub here, the central hub, right? The bus.
Right.
So that's made it remarkably appealing for us to be so close and helpful. And, you know, we know that our students often, you know, don't always have the financial means, right? So all of our offerings are all no cost, right? I mean, there's a residency requirement, right? Where we want you to be well, the state requires that you be a 12-month resident of New York, you know, and, you know, that we do waive that if you're a recent, you know, refugee, immigrant, that kind of stuff, right? So that's waived in cases like that. But our typical student is an adult learner who may or may not have completed high school and wants to earn their high school diploma through us, or, you know, is interested in that entry-level vocational instruction that is going to put them on a pathway to you know, an even better opportunity, right? So a lot of our programs meet those, right? They're entry-level healthcare programs. You know, OSHA is one of our biggest programs, and we know that if you have an OSHA certification, that employer is just going, yes, thank you. I don't have to get you certified, right? And that's a 2-day program here, and we certainly move a lot of students through that program. So a lot of those little credentials and training that is going to help propel our students into larger and more you know, lucrative and professional programs, a career. Sorry.
Yeah, Carlos Cervantes, Director of Student Services, Syracuse Educational Opportunity Center. And I know that one of the things that you shared with me, that there is a large demand for people who are skilled, right? A large, and you can train some of those folks, but how is EOC helping to meet that need of the local demand for skilled workers?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. And yeah, that's of personal interest to me. And we have an entire department that is involved with collaborating with employers, collaborating with government and agencies, and center state to identify those shortages. And though we don't always have the capacity to meet those demands, I mean, we don't have a welding shop necessarily that provides that, and some of that, some of that really complex skilled trades instruction. But we are meeting those that we can, and so those involve, some of those manufacturing needs. The healthcare needs. We know that there is a huge demand for healthcare workers here, right? So we want to help fill that. Manufacturing, OSHA, these are all intended to help build the bench that employers are sort of proclaiming they don't have one, right? If you talk to employers, they'll tell you, I got a large, soon to be retiring staff and no bench to fill them, right? So part of our goal is we can help build that bench. So we are really working hard to sort of improve those private public partnerships to meet that need, right? And we have a workforce here that can do it, right? We're always surprised by those people those students who we may have thought probably couldn't do some of that work because maybe they didn't finish high school or they didn't perform well in high school, and then we put them into our programs and they succeed at astonishing levels, right? And they go on and they find those jobs and they fulfill their goals, and they're now put on paths to at some of those companies that lead to other opportunities. So again, great need. And we are doing what we can within our own means to help fill that need.
And so you did say that there's opportunities right now. All those classes will begin in person beginning a week from Monday, the 13th of September. And just as we know, there are a lot of opportunities for people who are looking for work. I mean, COVID on the one hand, with people doing remote things like that. I know you probably just getting back to the office, but a lot of opportunities exist. Employers are looking for people. You see help wanted signs throughout the community. So this is a tremendous time for people who are perhaps looking for work. Speaking of looking for work, Friday, the 10th of September, will be an open house where one of the nation's largest companies right now, one of them is hiring, and a big event at the EOC coming up Friday the 10th, this Friday, by the time people hear this episode. So tell me about the Amazon hiring event.
Yeah, so that's new to us. It's been in the planning, but it's just now become official for us, right? So yeah, September 10th. I think it's from 2 to 5 p.m. It's here at this location.
100 New Street.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, 100 New Street. Here's adjacent to the Community Health Center, Salvation Army, right in the middle of where we know the demand is needed. So Amazon will be here. They're going to bring their hiring agents, right? They're gonna discuss all of their opportunities, and what we want are people to come and come as prepared as they can be. If they need resume help, come see us now, right? Visit us now, call now, and we can help them with that. Bring a resume, bring your best presentation, and let's get you hired, because they want to hire.
2 to 5 p.m. You need to, what do you said, bring a resume?
If you have a resume already completed, bring it, right? Share it.
Right. Can I get help from you to get a resume done?
Yes, call us now, and we have a department here that will help people create resumes. It's our Attain Lab. That's an acronym. I won't bother everyone with that acronym, but there's talented people who work down there that have as much passion for the people we serve as anybody else in here.
And people underestimate, it could be any kind of experience, right? It could be, volunteer experience, anything that shows that you're willing and ready and able to work. And the team at EOC can help you with that. You give them a call, 315-472-0130. Labor Day, they're not open, but they will be open on Tuesday, and they can help you on Tuesday to begin your journey for a great opportunity, for great opportunities. And I
Yes,
do
sir.
think that this is a great time to take advantage of all of the opportunities and all the programming. People shouldn't judge whether they can do the work or not do the work, because your faculty, your team of instructors who are really, I got to say this, and not because you guys support us, but they're really passionate about the students. They're really passionate about helping students take that next level, get to that next level, and go on to do the things that they want to do in their life. So if you're interested in all of the programs that are available, if you're looking for a second chance, if you want to reorder what's going on in your life, give the EOC a call, 315-472-0130. Full classes and limited, but in-person operations will take place beginning September the 13th. And guess what? So the classes will begin, but the job fair will begin technically before the classes start. So so people's like, wait, the 13th, but the job fair, yeah, you got that. You're hearing me right. Friday, the job fair, Monday classes. Carlos, what else do we need to know about what's happening at EOC, and what if we missed anything?
No, you didn't miss anything. Those are sort of the highlights. Those are our current main efforts, right? Things we're working on. I just want to remind everybody, right? The EOC is a no judgment zone, right?
Yes.
We don't care where you came from. We don't care about the struggles you may have faced. None of that matters here, right? What we are here to do is help you move beyond all of those, to help you develop the best you. Right?
All right.
That's important to all of us. And you talked about the passion, and everyone who works there here feels the same way. None of that matters when you step in the door. Put on your student hat, put on your best learning hat, and let's get to work.
All right. You can check out the Facebook page for information, for the very latest information as well. Syracuse EOC in the house. Carlos Cervantes is the Director of Student Services for the Syracuse Educational Opportunity Center of the State University of New York College at Morrisville. All right, so we got everybody credited for the work that they do. Shout out to Tim, also Marlena, for all the work they do as well. Inspiration for the nation. Thank you, Carlos.
Likewise. Thank you, George. Great talking to you.